Ivan Ilyich Shirnikov, a civil servant, a clerk in the Ministry of Public Parks, had any passion in life at all, it was the theater. He certainly had hopes and aspirations of higher office, and had dedicated his life to hard work, zeal, and patience. Still, he would not deny himself his one great pleasure in life. So he purchased 2 tickets to the very best section of the theater for the opening night performance of Rostov's The Bearded Countess. As it would happen, into the theater that night came none other than respected Superior General Mikhail Brazilov, the Minister of Public Parks himself.
Good evening, Your Excellency.
Yes, good evening.
Permit me, sir. I am Sherdakov, Ivan Ilyich. This is a great honor for me, sir.
Yes.
Well, like yourself, dear General, I too serve the Ministry of Public Parks. Well, that is to say, I serve you, who is indeed himself the Minister of Public Parks. I am the Assistant Chief Clerk to the Department of Trees and Bushes.
That's nice. Very good trees and bushes this year.
Well, my wife would very much like to say hello. This is she, Madame Sherdakov.
How do you do?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, General.
How do you do?
Oh, Madame Brazilov, my wife, Madame Sherdakov.
How do you do, Madame Brazilov?
How do you do?
I just had the pleasure of meeting your husband.
And I am my wife's husband. How do you do, Madame Brazilov? Shh.
Sorry, terribly sorry.
I hope you enjoy the play, sir.
I will if I can watch it.
Feeling quite pleased with himself for having made the most of this golden opportunity, Ivan Ilyich Shirnikov sat back to enjoy The Bearded Countess. He was no longer a stranger to the Minister of Public Parks. They had become, if one wanted to be generous about the matter, familiar with each other. And then, quite suddenly, without any warning, like a bolt from a gray thundering sky, Ivan Ilyich Shirnikov reared his head back and...
Oh my goodness, Your Excellency, I am sorry! I am so terribly sorry!
No, it's quite all right.
All right? No, it certainly is not all right! It was unpardonable! It was monstrous of me!
Forget it, young man.
Permit me, sir, to wipe your neck. It's the least I can do.
Leave it be. It's all right, I say.
But I splattered you, sir! Your entire head is splattered! It was an accident, I assure you! But it's disgusting.
Sorry, my apologies.
The thing is, Your Excellency, it came completely without warning. It was out of my nose before I could stifle it. Shh, yes, certainly. It's not a cold if that's what you're worrying about. Probably just a particle of dust in the nostril or... Shh.
But Shirnikov could not put the incident out of his mind. The sneeze, little more than an innocent anatomical accident, grew all out of proportion in his mind, until it resembled the angry roar of a cannon aimed squarely at enemy camp. He played the incident back in his mind, slowing down the procedure so he could view again in horror the infamous deed.
Charming, charming.
Yes, charming.
Charming, simply charming. Wasn't it charming, my dear?
I found it utterly charming.
I was completely charmed by it.
Excuse me, Excellency.
Who's tapping? Who's tapping?
I'm the tapper, sir. It's me, Sherdakov.
Stand back, dear. It's the sneezer.
Oh, no, I'm all sneezed out. I was just concerned about you going out into the night with a damp head.
Oh, that. It was a trifle. A mere faux pas. Forget it, young man. Say, what did you think of the play? Didn't you find it simply amusing?
Amusing? Oh, yes! I haven't laughed as much in years.
Which part interested you the most?
When I sneezed on you, sir, it was unforgivable.
Forget it, young man. Come, my dear, it looks like rain. I don't want to get my head wet again.
Honestly, dear, you shouldn't let people sneeze on you. You're not to be sneezed at.
I'm ruined. Ruined! They'll have me fired from the trees and bushes. They'll send me down to the branches and the twigs!
Come, Ivan!
What?
It was just a harmless little sneeze. The General's probably forgotten it already.
Do you really think so?
No, Ivan, I'm scared!
And, 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 so they walked home in despair.
Perhaps if I were to call the minister and explain myself in such a forgiving and self-effacing manner, he would have no choice but to forgive me.
Maybe it's best not to remind him.
No, no. If I ever expect to become a gentleman, I must act like one.
And so the morning came. As it happened, this was the day the general listened to petitions. And as there were 50 or 60 petitions ahead of Chirdakov, he waited from morning till late afternoon.
Next.
I'm not next, Your Excellency. I am last.
Very well then, last.
Oh, that's me, sir.
Well, what is your petition?
I have no petition, sir. I am not a petitioner.
Then you waste my time.
Oh, hey, wait. Do you not recognize me? We met last night under the rather explosive circumstances. It's me, the splatterer.
The what?
The sneezing splatterer, the one who sneezed on you, Sherdakov.
And what is it you want now? A gesundheit?
No, Your Excellency. Your forgiveness. I just wanted to let you know that there is no political or antisocial motivation behind the sneeze. It was a nonpartisan, nonviolent act of God. I curse the day the protuberance formed itself on my face, and I am not responsible for its indiscretions. Exile my nose, sir, but forgive me your kindship. Forgive me.
My dear young man, I'm not angry with your nose. I'm too busy to have time to deal with your nasal problems. Just go home and take a hot bath, or a cold one. Take something. But don't bother me with this silly business again. Gibber, gibber, gibber. That's all I hear all day. Gibber, gibber, gibber.
Thank you, sir. God bless you and your wife. May your days be sweet, and may your nights be better than your days.
The feeling of relief that came over Chirdakov was enormous.
May the birds sing in the morning at your window, and may the coffee in your cup be hot and strong.
The weight of the burden that was lifted was inestimable.
I worship the chair you sit in, and the uniform you wear that sits in the chair that I worship.
He walked home, singing and whistling like a lark. Life was surely a marvel, a joy, a heavenly paradise.
Oh God, I am happy!
And yet, when he arrived home, he began to think.
Have I been the butt of a cruel and thoughtless joke?
Had the minister toyed with him?
If he had no intention of punishing me, why did he torment me so unmercifully?
If the sneeze meant so little to the minister, why did he deliberately cause Chirdakov to writhe in his bed?
To twist in agony the entire night?
Chirdakov was furious.
I am furious!
He foamed and fumed and paced the night through. And in the morning, he called out to his wife, Sonia!
Sonia! I have been humiliated.
You, Ivan! Who would humiliate you? You're such a kind and generous person!
Who? I'll tell you who. General Brazelhov, the Minister of Public Parks.
What did he
The
do?
swine. He practically forced me to come into his office and grovel and beg on my knees. The man's cunning is only equal to his cruelty. I was reduced to a gibbering idiot.
You were that reduced?
I must go back and tell him what I think of him. The lower class must speak up, so that men of all nations and creeds will be free to sneeze on their superiors. It will be he who will be humiliated by I!
And so the morning came, and Chirdakov came to humiliate he.
Last. Well,
Well, you say. Do you not recognize me, Your Excellency? Take a good look. Yes, you're quite right. It is I once again.
it is you once again who?
Sherdakov, Your Excellency, and I have returned, taken neither a hot bath nor a cold one.
Who let this filthy man in? What is it?
What is it? You sit there and ask, what is it? You sit there in your lofty position as the General Minister of Public Parks and ask me, a lower civil servant, what is it? You sit there with full knowledge that there is no equality in this life, that there are those of us that serve and those that are served. Those of us that obey and those that are obeyed. Those of us that bow and those that are bowed to. And certain events take place in this life that cause some of us to be humiliated and some that cause that humiliation. And still you ask, what is it?
What is it? What is it you want?
I'll tell you what I want. I want to apologize again for sneezing on you. I wasn't sure I made it clear the first time, but it was an accident, I assure you.
Out! Out, you idiot! Fool! Imbecile! Get out of my sight. I never want to see you again. If you ever cross my line of vision, I will have you exiled forever. What is your name?
Cherigov!
You germ spreader! You maggot! You insect! You are lower than an insect! You are the second cousin to a cockroach! The son-in-law of a bedbug! You are the nephew of a ringworm! You are nothing! Do you hear me? Nothing!
What happened next was quite simple. Ivan Ilyich Sherdakov arrived at home. He removed his coat. He gently laid down and died. Wait! For those who are offended by life's cruelty, there is an alternate ending. Ivan Ilyich Sherdakov arrived at home. He removed his coat. He laid down, and he inherited 5 million rubles. There's not much point to it, but it is uplifting. I assure you, it is not my intention to paint life any harsher than it is. But some of us are indeed trapped. Witness the predicament of a young governess